Questioner. But then, in general, then you're saying that if you will allow Earth, the population of this planet, to have a nuclear war, and many deaths from that war, but you will be able to create a condition where these deaths will be no more traumatic, shall I say, with respect to entrance to the heaven world, or astral world, or whatever we call it, bad death by a bullet, or normal means of dying of old age. Is this correct? Ra. I am Ra. This is incorrect. It would be more traumatic. However, the entity would remain an entity. Questioner. Can you tell me the condition of the entities who were, shall I say, killed in Nagasaki and Hiroshima? At this time, what is their condition? Ra. I am Ra. They of this trauma have not yet fully begun the healing process. They are being helped as much as is possible. Questioner. When the healing process is complete with these entities, will this experience of death due to nuclear bomb cause them to be, shall we say, regressed in their climb toward the fourth density? Ra. I am Ra. Such actions as nuclear destruction affect the entire planet. There are no differences at this level of destruction, and the planet will need to be healed. Questioner. I was thinking specifically if an entity was in Hiroshima or Nagasaki at that time, and he was reaching harvestability at the end of our cycle, would this death by nuclear bomb possibly create such trauma that he would not be harvestable at the end of the cycle? That was specifically my question. Ra. I am Ra. This is incorrect. Once the healing has taken place, the harvest may go forth unimpeded. However, the entire planet will undergo healing for this action, no distinction being made betwixt victim and aggressor, this due to damage done to the planet. Questioner. Could you please make the instrument cough? And, Ra. Cough. Questioner. Can you describe the mechanism of the planetary healing? Ra. I am Ra. Healing is a process of acceptance, forgiveness, and, if possible, restitution. The restitution not being available in time-space. There are many among your peoples now attempting restitution, while in the physical. Questioner. How do these people attempt this restitution in the physical? Ra. I am Ra. These attempt feelings of love towards the planetary sphere and comfort and healing of the scars and the imbalances of these actions. Questioner. Then as the UFO phenomena was made obvious to many of the population, many groups of people reported contact, many groups of people reported telepathic communication with UFO entities, and many recorded the results of what they considered telepathic communication. Was the Confederation, shall we say, oriented to impressing telepathic communication on groups that became UFO interested in UFOs? Ra. I am Ra. This is correct, although some of our members have removed themselves from the time-space using thought-form projections into your space-time, and have chosen, from time to time, with permission of the Council, to appear in your skies without landing. Questioner. Then are all of the landings that have occurred except for the landing when Eisenhower was contacted, are all of those landings of the Orion Group, or similar type groups? Ra. I am Ra. Except for isolated instances of those of, shall we say, no affiliation, this is correct. Questioner. Is it necessary in each case for the entity who is contacted in one of these landings to be calling, or the Orion Group, or do some of these entities come in contact with the Orion Group even though they are not calling that group? Ra. I am Ra. You must plumb the depths of fourth density negative understanding. This is difficult for you. Once having reached third density space-time continuum, through your so-called windows, these crusaders may plunder, as they will, the results completely a function of the polarity of the, shall we say, witness subject or victim. This is due to the sincere belief of fourth density negative that to love self is to love all. Each other self which is thus either taught or enslaved thus has a teacher which teaches love of self. Exposed to this teaching, it is intended there be brought to fruition and harvest of fourth density negative or self-serving mind-body-spirit complexes. Questioner. Can you make the instrument cough, please? Ra. Cough. Questioner. Then I am assuming all of the UFO groups who were getting telepathic contact from the Confederation were, shall we say, high-priority targets for the Orion Crusaders, and I would assume that a large percentage of them were, shall we say, had their information polluted then. Can you tell me, do you have any idea what percentage of these groups were heavily polluted by the Orion information, and if any of them were able to remain totally purely a Confederation channel? Ra. I am Ra. To give you this information would be to infringe upon the free will or confusion of some living. We can only ask each group to consider the relative effect of philosophy and your so-called specific information. It is not the specificity of the information which attracts negative influences. It is the importance placed upon it. This is why we iterate quite often, when asked for specific information, that it pales to insignificance, just as the grass withers and dies while the love and the light of the one infinite Creator redounds to the very infinite realms of creation forever and ever, creating and creating itself in perpetuity. Why then be concerned with the grass that blooms, withers, and dies in its season only to grow once again due to the infinite love and light of the one Creator? This is the message we bring. Each entity is only superficially that which blooms and dies. In the deeper sense there is no end to beingness. Questioner. Thank you very much. Could you please make the instrument cough? Ra. Cough. Questioner. As you have stated, it is a straight and narrow path. There are many distractions. I plan to create an introduction, shall I say, to the law of one, traveling through and hitting the high points of the 75,000 years cycle, possibly a few questions into the general future. After this introduction to the law of one, as I call it, I would like to get directly to the main work, which is creating an understanding that can be disseminated to those who would ask for it, and only to those who would ask for it. For an understanding that can allow them to greatly accelerate their evolution. I am very appreciative and feel a great honor and privilege to be doing this, and hope that we can accomplish this next phase. I have a question that the instrument has asked that I would like to ask for the instrument. She says, you speak of various types of energy blockages and transfers, positive and negative, that may take place due to participation in our sexual reproductive complex of actions. She states, please explain these blockages and energy transfers with emphasis upon what an individual seeking to be in accordance with the law of one may positively do in this area. Is it possible for you to answer this question? Ra. I am Ra. It is partially possible, given the background we have laid. This is properly a more advanced question. Due to the specificity of the question, we may give a general answer. The first energy transfer is red ray. It is a random transfer having to do only with your reproductive system. The orange and the yellow ray attempts to have sexual intercourse create, firstly, a blockage if only one entity vibrates in this area, thus causing the entity vibrating sexually in this area to have a never-ending appetite for this activity. What these vibratory levels are seeking is green ray activity. There is the possibility of orange or yellow ray energy transfer, this being polarizing towards the negative. One being seen as object rather than other self, the other seeing itself as plunderer or master of the situation. In green ray there are two possibilities. Firstly, if both vibrate in green ray there will be a mutually strengthening energy transfer, the negative or female, as you call it, drawing the energy from the roots of the beingness up through the energy centers, thus being physically revitalized, the positive, or male polarity, as it is deemed in your illusion, finding in this energy transfer an inspiration which satisfies and feeds the spirit portion of the body-mind-spirit complex. Thus both being polarized and releasing the excess of that which each has in abundance by nature of intelligent energy. That is, negative intuitive, positive physical energies, as you may call them, this energy transfer being blocked only if one or both entities have fear of possession, of being possessed, of desiring possession, or desiring being possessed. The other green ray possibility is that of one entity offering green ray energy, the other not offering energy of the universal love energy, this resulting in a blockage of energy, for the one not green ray, thus increasing frustration or appetite, the green ray being polarizing slightly toward service to others. The blue ray energy transfer is somewhat rare among your people at this time, but is of great aid due to energy transfers involved in becoming able to express the self without reservation or fear. The indigo ray transfer is extremely rare among your people. This is the sacramental portion of the body complex, whereby contact may be made through the violet ray, with intelligent infinity. No blockages may occur at these latter two levels due to the fact that if both entities are not ready for this energy it is not visible, and neither transfer nor blockage may take place. It is as though the distributor were removed from a powerful engine. This instrument was able, as an example of this working, to baffle the Orion group during tape blank experiences, as you call this substance, due to the fact that it effectively completely opened other self to third ray. We correct this instrument, it is growing low in vital energy green ray energy, and partially open other self to blue ray interaction. May we ask if you have any queries before we close? Questioner. If you would please make the instrument cough, I will ask 1-2 quick questions. Ra. Cough. Questioner. The instrument asks, how long do the debilitative effects that I am experiencing from the use of tape blank, and is there anything that we can do to make the instrument more comfortable? Ra. I am Ra. Firstly, the period of weakness of bodily complex is approximately 3 of your lunar cycles, the first ingestion causing approximately 1 of your lunar cycles, the second having a cumulative or doubling effect. Secondly, this instrument is well. You are most conscientious. Ra. I am Ra. I leave you, my friends, in the love and the light of the one infinite Creator. Go forth, then, merry and glad, and rejoicing in the power and the peace of the one Creator. Adonai.